Who likes to be in control or feel like you're in control? I know, I do. Control, however, is truly an illusion. And if you haven't learned this yet, you will, probably very painfully at some point in your life. So today let's talk about releasing control. Sometimes surrender means giving up, trying to understand, and becoming comfortable with not knowing. Okay, well, right there, we don't like that because in order to be in control, that means we want to know what's going on. If I don't know, then how can I be in control? So giving up, trying to understand, and being comfortable with not knowing, that is so hard. That takes practice. The desire for control is often rooted in fear, the fear of uncertainty, failure, or being hurt. When life feels unpredictable, we may cling tightly to routines, people, or outcomes, believing that if we can just manage everything perfectly, we can prevent disappointment or pain. But the truth is, control is an illusion. No matter how much we plan or prepare, there will always be circumstances beyond our reach. At its core, the need for control can also be a symptom of pride. Ooh. The belief that we know best, that our way is the right way, or that we alone are responsible for making things turn out right. This mindset can strain relationships as we may unintentionally try to control others' choices or even emotions. But when we stop trying to control situations or people, we create space for others to feel seen, heard, and valued. Instead of forcing outcomes, we foster deeper connections built on trust and mutual respect. Now, I don't know about you, but this can show up in my marriage. Now, my husband and I fully admit we both like being in control. Okay, so we've acknowledged it. We are aware of it. And that is really, step one. You have to know that it's a problem in order to do anything about it. So we acknowledge that, yes, we both like to be in control. And guess what? That doesn't go so well. The last time I tried to control him, that didn't work out too well. And the last time he tried to control me, that didn't work out too well. Because control is about, it's forceful. It's more about like, I know what's best. And we want control because we want things to go how we think it should go. You can't do that in relationships because inevitably the other person is going to do something, say something, act a certain way that we think they shouldn't do. And sometimes it can be really aggravating, right? And so then we get aggravated and we're like, well, I had this expectation of how this should go and you didn't do what I thought you should. And so control is showing up. There's this attitude of control that we're not able to just be like, okay, I can't control this. Let's work through it. Let's figure this out. So relationships is a big one where things come into play when control comes into play. Another one, maybe some of y'all can relate to this. If you are a planner, an organizer, so someone like myself who you like an agenda. Like if I'm doing events or workshops or meetings or anything like that, I like a good agenda. I like to know, all right, what to expect. What time are we starting? What time is lunch? Are we having breaks? What are we gonna be talking about? I like to know. And so when I am actually creating an event or a workshop, guess what? I'll put together an agenda with time slots and objectives and what do I need for it. But this came to me, this was like a revelation that came to me, a couple of months ago, where I realized, especially if it's something I'm doing, that the intent is to allow people to have a relationship with God or feel something from God, receiving some kind of insight or reflection related to that. If I have an agenda and I force everything to go according to that agenda, then I am not leaving space for God to do what he wants to do, because I have no idea what he wants to do. I have no idea who's like what people are coming in with, what they need, right? What God needs to do in that event or that workshop. And so if I am so tightly held to my pretty little agenda, try to control the day, then I am not leaving space for the Holy Spirit to work. And so that to me is a sign. I was like, holy crap, if everything goes according to my agenda, then I have probably not done a good job. So now as I go into planning events or things like that, I am trying to just put the expectation and the anticipation that I'll have a plan. Okay, I'm going to have a plan because I can't not have a plan. But I am opening my mind to, and I hope this doesn't go exactly to plan, because I hope God shows up and does something different. But if I am letting control take the lead and really allowing that to force everything, that I'm not leaving space. So I need to release control in a variety of situations. And I'm guessing maybe you do too. So what is it right now that you are holding tightly to, that you have this grip of control around, that you might need to just start releasing today and letting God handle it?